Feed us, feed us. Okay, okay. Oh, doggy. Water for the doggy. 6 million prisoners of war. Between 1914 and 1918, over 6 million men were taken prisoner, including 1.2 million Germans and 200,000 British troops. Despite the 1907 Hue Convention and the effort of the International Red Cross, prison conditions and forced labor provided harsh for conscripts, and hundreds of thousands never made it home. Letters. Letters remained the only real means of communication with the outside world. Radios and telephones were only used for military ends. All soldiers wrote to their loved ones back home, as war correspondence was free of charge. This created logistical and financial problems. 10 billion letters and postcards were sent to and from the front during the war. The early war postal system was chaotic, but then the front was then separated into sections, each with its own postcode. The visit from the military postman was eagerly awaited. The Battle of Neuve-Chapelle. March 10, 1915, British shells literally rained down on German forces. For the first time, the technique creeping barrage was used. The barrage, where the fire of all units targets the same position for a period before advancing, one line at a time. The infantry's advance was synchronized at a safe distance behind the barrage, so that German lines could then be overrun. That day, 530 cannons fired over 260,000 shells. That is to say, one shell per weapon every 2 minutes. The Garwal rifles. In the early 20th century, Great Britain and France governed huge colonial empires and put them to use during the war. Indian troops were deployed by Britain in the Middle East as well as on the European front, and made an important contribution to the war effort. Many victories were achieved thanks to their bravery and discipline in combat. A monument commemorating their sacrifice stands in Neuve-Chapelle, France. Mud. Trench life was difficult. Soldiers were confronted with cold, rain, and mud. Dirty water meant that disease such as dysentery, typhus, and cholera flourished. The depths of the mud also presented dangers, and soldiers sometimes drowned in shell holes or in the tunnels leading to the trenches. Explosives. Trench fortifications required the use of explosives to penetrate enemy lines. Long tunnels were dug under no man's land beneath enemy trenches, inside which explosives were placed. The English used cordite, a powerful explosive that could be detonated at a distance. Alright, water, fire, sausage makes the sausage. Photo frame. Even though photography was not widespread, many soldiers had their photos taken before setting out for the war. Professional prints were developed on photo paper and applied to a hard backing to prevent tearing. Some photos were directly printed as postcards, especially group conscript photos.
Dearest Papa, we live in a climate of uncertainty. Germans use the people of Saint-Mihiel as human shields against the French bombings. I hope the Germans treat you well, and that your wound has healed. Your grandson sent you kisses. I sent you a picture of him. All my love. Please write soon.
Adieu, Karl.
Food, food. Wow. How difficult that must be, seeing your child or grandson growing up and you're not there. Alright, first, the water. That was not the water. First, the water. Then, the fire. Then, the sausage. So it's just wet sausage. You know, German sausage. It's the worst. Ah, get it? Oh no! Take cover!
Merci.
Beat it with my spoon. He's up in the Zeppelin. Uh-huh.
What? Vamos.
Good doggy. I feel like I can see people fighting in the foreground. Some more bombs here. Oh. I was supposed to go on that. I think I screwed up. There we go.
What? What?
Digging through the mud. missed one. Crucifix. The majority of soldiers believed in God, and some wore symbols of their religion. War officers had to make provisions for different religions, and a variety of religious ceremonies was performed at the front by different faiths. Priests, vicars, and rabbis offered secure and compassion to the soldiers. Muslim soldiers from the colonies were organized into separate battalions for practical reasons, and their beliefs were also respected. Halal food was provided as well as Muslim funeral services. Because I can't go back up. I'll have to go back and find that missing item. Oh wait, it's over here. Never mind, I found it. I was getting worried. Valiant stories contest memorabilia. Lace tightener made by Corporal Lucien du Fromentel, great-grandfather of Bented Tisderas. I know I'm butchering these words, I'm sorry. From a melted-down cartridge case. Lucien served as an electrician in the Searchlight Division, whose mission was to illuminate enemy positions. Many thanks and congratulations to our winner, Bennett. Yes, I see it.
What? Allez. Bon chien.
Let's get the ladder. Oops. Map bone. Oh, I don't really need to go up here now, do we? That just takes us to the crucifix. Or where the crucifix was, I should say. Compass. Soldiers used compasses to gain their bearings in open countryside. They were used in conjunction with the HQ map. Orienteering was the reserve for officers and non-commissioned officers who issued soldiers with directions.
What? Okay.
Oh no!
What?
The dog!
The British troops continued their attack on Neuve-Chapelle. Their next objective, take back Port Arthur.
Take out the gun.
Sir. Yes, sir. Come on, boys, let's go.
What's next time? We get some kind of coins and a sword. Go back that way. Take cover. Go, go, go. Barbed wire. That's a specialty. Oh shit. Ah! That was close. Everyone's getting killed. French coins. All troops were paid in their country of origin's currency and paid compensation in the local currency. The British earned 1 shilling a day, around 3.21 GBP, or $5.42 US dollars in nowadays currency. Standard king shilling and 20 francs every fortnight. These 20 francs had a face value of 40 pounds, roughly 50 euros or 70 American US dollars, and were used as the main currency, with local eager to barter whatever few goods they could trade. Business always prevailed, so locals near the combat zone would agree on payment in foreign currencies as well. Alright, we have to give him the dynamite to blow the trench. What one do you need? 2. Now you need a 3. Or was that a 4? Yeah, 3. Now you need a 2. Let's blow it. Ready, kaboom! Just making sure there wasn't any items over there for me to collect. Oh, there's a sword. The Curry knife. The Curry knife was used by the Gurkhas, the British unit comprised of colonial Indian troops. This Nepalese weapon was standard issue and became a symbol of the Empire forces. Its heavy, thick, and curved blade was designed for striking as well as cutting. Oh no! Just in time. We saved the dog.
Merci, mon ami. Tout right now. Carl Louis Fonder. Yeah, come.
Amidst the never-ending attacks and counterattacks, Freddy and Emile hunted the elusive Baron and his regiment in Ypres.